Now we return to local news. This time it's sport, and we start with Darren.
Rugby Union. Saracens took the honours on a historic day for the Aviva Premiership on Saturday as they emerged victorious from their clash against London Irish in New York. The encounter was the first Premiership match ever to be played overseas, and table-topping Sarries took some time to get into their stride and trailed 13-7 at the interval, despite a fine individual try from Alex Good, which Ben Spencer converted. But Saracens, who were officially the away side for the match, took control of the contest in the second half, and a Nick Tompkins try, coupled with 4 penalties and a conversion from Good, enabled them to claim the win.
Hockey. Southgate's season ended in bitter disappointment on Sunday as a 4-1 defeat at Oxted finished any hopes they had of being crowned champions of the Men's Conference East of the English Hockey League. Southgate went into their final match of the campaign needing to win and hoping that table-topping Richmond slipped in order to pip them to the title. However, the visitors found themselves facing an uphill battle after conceding 3 times in a 4-minute spell late in the first half, with Dylan Thomas and Andy Cornick finding the target. Thomas piled on the misery for Southgate by completing his hat-trick after the interval, and Andrew Westbrook's last gasp goal was scant consolation for the visitors, although Richmond's victory over Sevenoaks meant that they would have missed out on the title even if they had won.
Football. Cockfosters maintained their current good run by securing a 2-2 draw at home to inform Biggleswade United in the Spartan Premier Division on Saturday. The Reds have only been beaten in one of their last 7 matches in all competitions, and they more than held their own in this match to deservedly pick up a point against the form team in the division, with Ikem Ode and Callum Lee both scoring their first goals for the club. It was a very entertaining game, and a draw was probably the fair result on the day, said manager Dean Barker. Biggleswade are a good side and on a long unbeaten run, but we matched them on the day and continue our fine recent form. Our last 3 league performances have been really good, and I think it was a good game to watch for the neutral. We had a lot of youngsters in the team, and it is great to see the way that they are coming on. I am glad for Ikem and Callum that they got their first goals for the club. Callum got kicked in the head early in the game and needed stitches, but he carried on and did superbly. He's only 17 and we've got him on loan from St Albans City for the rest of the season. We've got 4 players on loan from St Albans at the moment, and I think it's a link which is proving beneficial to both clubs. And Cockfosters followed Saturday's draw by setting up a trip to Ryman Premier Division leaders Hampton and Richmond Borough in the quarter-finals of the Middlesex Charity Cup with a 2-1 victory at local rivals Brimsdown on Monday night. Fraser John and Emmanuel Melford Rowe scored the goals. Cockfosters entertain FC Broxbourne Borough on Saturday at 3 p.m.
And now a story about an up-and-coming star in athletics. Results last season may have surpassed Lavie Nielsen's expectations, but the Enfield sprinter insists there is even more to come this year as she chases her Olympic dream. The 19-year-old clinched double gold at the Under-20 European Championships in Sweden back in July in the 400 metres and 4x400 metres relay. The Enfield and Haringey sprinter was also the fastest over 400 metres in Britain at under-20 level and the 7th fastest at senior level, behind the likes of 2008 Olympic champion Christina Huragu. And having been named in the World Championship squad for Beijing last year, Nielsen has her sights set on booking her seat on the plane to Rio for the 2016 Olympic Games. Despite her successes last year, Nielsen also had to contend with her fair share of injuries, but with a clean bill of health currently, the one-lap specialist is confident even faster times are on the horizon to impress selectors. Last year was beyond my wildest dreams. I did not think I would run the times I was running or win the Europeans, she said. Building on to this year, I just really want to run a lot faster than I did last year. Last year I was injured quite a few times, and I don't want that this year. Hopefully that will make me run faster. I feel a lot stronger though, and a lot faster. The experience that I had last year in going to the World Championships made me realise how much I want to be on that stage. I've been training to be able to do that. I go to a warm weather training camp in April, which I'm looking forward to. After that, I will take a few weeks off and start competing. I'd like to do a European circuit, competing against international stars. I have the Olympic trials at the end of June, which will be really tough. We've got a strong field of 400 metres women, and then the team gets selected in early July. Nielsen was speaking at the Jaguar Land Rover Academy of Sport workshop at the Loughborough University campus, where more than 20 of the country's brightest athletes were in attendance. They were offered education seminars on issues such as nutrition, time management and interview techniques, and were given mentoring by former Olympic cyclist Brian Steele, ex-England rugby union player David Flatman, and London 2012 Olympian Adam Gamili. Gamili said, "I really feel privileged to be here speaking to these guys, trying to inspire them by sharing my story, and hopefully I can help them progress to the next level. The Academy of Sport does such great things for these young athletes. Jade Jones is the best example. She was on this programme and then went on to win Olympic gold at London 2012. Lavie Nielsen attended the Jaguar Land Rover Academy of Sport workshop, mentored by Land Rover ambassador David Flatman and Sports Aid patron Brian Steele. For more information, visit sportsaid.org.uk.
Now back to football and the Ryman League Premier Division. Enfield Town will be hoping to reignite their push for a place in the playoffs when they visit relegation-haunted Farnborough on Saturday at 3 p.m. Town, who have only picked up 1 point from their past 2 league matches, were left without a game over the weekend as scheduled opponents Bognor Regis Town were in action in the semi-finals of the FA Trophy. Their inactivity, coupled with the 2 disappointing recent results, has seen Town slip to 9th in the table. But they are just 5 points adrift of 5th place Billericay Town with a game in hand. But, while he is far from giving up hope in the race for promotion, manager Bradley Quinton has been less than impressed with Town's second half performance in their past 2 matches. A 2-2 draw at Metropolitan Police on March the 5th, and a 3-1 defeat at Tonbridge Angels on Tuesday last week, and has suggested that he is looking to make changes to the side as a result. Silly individual mistakes have started costing us again, he said. People have got to realise before it's too late for them that they have got to stop doing that. The match against Tonbridge made it clear to me that we are not quite where we want to be at the moment, and a few of the guys could find themselves out of the team if they are not careful. But there are still a lot of points to be won and lost by all the teams who are challenging for promotion. A few sides seem to be starting to fade away a bit, and we've still got Dulwich, Kingstonian and Bognor to face at home. So we've still got everything to play for. And Quinton believes that the current break in Town's fixtures could end up working in their favour. The games have been coming thick and fast, and personally, I'm pleased that we've got the break, he said. I know a lot of people would rather keep on playing, but it will enable us to give the lads a breather. We've been working on a few things in training and have started preparing for our next match against Farnborough. Enfield Town follow Saturday's match by hosting Kingstonian on Tuesday at 7:45 p.m.
Rugby. Enfield Ignatians clinched promotion to Hearts Middlesex Division 3 after thrashing Saracens B 55 at Bramley Road on Sunday. What a difference a year makes. Last season, Enfield Ignatians under-14s just about escaped the drop from Hearts Middlesex Division 4, and now the team are celebrating promotion. Needing just a point from their final game, the Blue and Golds wrapped up second spot after running amok. A hat-trick of tries, each from Akin James and Jamal Daly Bonner, allied to a double strike from Ben Phillips, a touchdown from Daryl Yanker, and 6 conversions from the boot of Ryan Liu, completed the rout. making it 5 league wins in 6 attempts. The much improved side have beaten all bar unbeaten London Welsh and have much to look forward to. Coach Colin Pennicott said, "The players have worked really hard and I am pleased as much as punch for them. It's a very enjoyable environment at Ignatians and at the moment, and we've still plenty to look forward to, including a tens tournament at Harrow, April 10th, and a 2-match tour of Norfolk, April 23rd, when we will be playing Wymondham and Holt. There were 2 derby encounters at Bramley Road, and Saracens won local bragging rights in the under-15s Middlesex Division 4 encounter with Ignatians 24-15, when the visitors had to make do with a brace of tries from Lawrence Lew and a penalty and conversion from Ethan Robinson. Ignatians under-18s, winners of the Hearts Middlesex Division title, made the short trip down the North Circular and, despite fielding a weakened side, were far from disgraced in the 17-12 defeat to Woodford. Cairo Sango and Ethan Rennie, who converted his own try, both scored for the visitors in the friendly. Sango and Rennie also played pivotal roles in Ignatians' Third's 26-14 win over Southgate in Hearts Middlesex Merit Table 5 at Donkey Lane 24 hours earlier. Left winger Sango claimed 2 of his side's 4 tries as the Thirds maintained their promotion push. Others to cross the whitewash were Ash Payne and Robin Ward. Enjoying a good day with the boot, David Conlon converted 3 of his side's 4 tries. Player coach Steve Rennie said, "It was a massively important win for us. It certainly wasn't the most productive day for our backline, as we planned to bust up the middle via the forwards. We've got 2 league games remaining against Old Grammarians and Black Horse, and we will need to be on our guard."
A notice. The Lee Valley Easter Country Fair is to be held on Sunday and Monday, 27th and 28th of March, between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. on each day, on the showground, River Lee Country Park, Waltham Abbey, EN 91AB. Admission is £7.50, concessions are £6, children between the ages of 5 to 16 are £3, and family ticket, which includes 2 adults and 2 children, will cost £19. Admission discounts are available at oakleyfairs.co.uk/Lee Valley. That is oakleyfairs, one word, .co.uk/Lee Valley. Well-behaved dogs on a short lead are very welcome, except in the food hall. And for more information, please call 01206 263 088. That's 01206 263 088.
And another notice, which still proves that Enfield is indeed a country town as well as part of London. Beautiful baby lambs frolicking in the fields are a sight to gladden anyone's heart, and there's a great chance to see them in all their glory as Forty Hall Farm throws open its gates to celebrate the joys of spring this weekend. The annual lambing weekend takes place at the farm in Forty Hill, Enfield, on Saturday and Sunday. As well as the newborn lambs, there will be opportunities to meet and feed other animals. Rural craft demonstrations will provide a further taste of the country life, and for those keen to experience a slice of rural England in the heart of suburbia, there will also be Morris dancing and a chance to try your hand at sheep shearing. The farm will be open from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on both days, and there will be a shuttle bus running from Capel Manor College in Ballsmore Lane. Admission is £4 for adults, £2 for children, and it's free for 3-year-olds and under.
And more with a green theme now. Blooming Marvels at a Stately Home have scooped a top prize from the Royal Horticultural Society. The mild winter has sparked a snowdrop bonanza in the grounds of Middleton House in Bulls Cross, Enfield, and the flowers formed part of a display that won a gold award at the Society's London Early Spring Plant Fair last month. at the RHS Lawrence Hall and the Linday Hall in Westminster. The display, created by the Plant Heritage London Group, which works to preserve and protect rare and heritage varieties of flowers, used plants from several prominent gardeners in the city, including Buckingham Palace, as well as the 8-acre Middleton House Gardens. Middleton House is associated with heritage snowdrops, thanks to former resident E.A. Bowles, who cultivated many varieties of the flower in the gardens of the Manor House. Head gardener James Hall said, "It's a terrific honour to be able to contribute to the group's display, and we were really chuffed to have won this prestigious prize." Middleton House Gardens are well known for their impressive snowdrops, which mark the start of the year, and visitors will find that there is so much more to see here, whatever time of year.
A couple set to celebrate their 65th wedding anniversary say there is no special secret to a successful relationship. Jack and Joan Holloway married on March 29th, 1951, aged 23 and 17 respectively, after being introduced by their parents. Now, aged 88 and 82, they are still happily together, but say they do not have any particular tips on how to make a relationship so long-lasting. Joan said, "It may not be a special anniversary like a diamond anniversary, but it is special for us. We just live day to day, there's no real secret." She did admit they could never have imagined having such a large family when they first married. As well as 3 children, Wendy, Nick and Simon, they have 8 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren. While there may still be love in the relationship, Jack is very forthcoming about the lack of romance in the selection of their wedding date. He says, "It was for tax reasons. In those days, if you got married before the end of the financial year, you got the tax back." They have lived together in Bideford Road, Enfield Lock, since 1963 and consider the creation of a comfortable family home a great achievement. Jack said, "This place was in a bit of a state when we moved in, had to do the job ourselves and turn it into a family home. The biggest challenge was making the stairs and hallway wider to move the pram around." The couple's pragmatism in their relationship and marriage is perhaps best shown in how they have ridden out health problems over the years. Jack had a triple heart bypass in 2003, while Joan is a breast cancer survivor. Joan said, "We just get on with it. Why grow old? I still have my hair dyed and my nails done. We just go with the flow." The couple also shared their happiest memories of their time together. Jack said, "Every family holiday, you'd get there, stretch out and just think, lovely." Joan added, "It was great when the grandchildren came along."
A £900,000 flood prevention scheme was officially opened this week in Firs Farm Park. The wetlands and 600-metre-long cycleway in Winchmore Hill were opened by Enfield Council's Cabinet Member for the Environment, Councillor Daniel Anderson, along with Deputy Mayor of London for Environment and Energy, Matthew Penchars, and Tony Guyver, Chairman of the Friends of Fir Farm. The project aims to tackle pollution, prevent flooding, bring wildlife into the park and make it easier for visitors to access the area. Councillor Anderson said, "From just a bare piece of land to over 2 hectares of improved space, this park is now not only a welcome and retreat for native wildlife, but also for local people. Not only will this project open the corner of the borough that provides great pedestrian and cycleway routes, this link will also give residents even more ways to travel in and out of Enfield. The project saw whole parts of the park landscaped to create a wetlands area to prevent pollution and a woodlands watercourse and walk. The scheme saw over 100 trees planted and the creation of a wildflower meadow."
A jeweller who sold fake goods to shoppers has been fined more than £5,000 by magistrates. In 3 visits to Urbilla Jewellers in South Mall, Edmonton Green, officials found a counterfeit Cartier bracelet and seized non-hallmarked goods. Enfield Council then prosecuted Meftuni Erbil, aged 40, of Sweetbriar Grove, Edmonton, director of the company Saiton Limited, who ran the jewellers. He was prosecuted for offences under the Hallmarking Act 1973 and the Trademarks Act 1994. Trading Standards officers visited the shop in December 2014 and found that weighing machines were not suitable for the purpose. They also requested that all non-hallmarked items be removed from sale. Because goods had not been hallmarked, the exact purity of precious metal items could not be established, and buyers could not be sure they were purchasing legitimate products. Officers confirmed that goods had not been submitted for hallmarking, and Erbil was warned that non-hallmarked items would be seized. 2 months later they went back with staff from Hallmarking Inspectorate, the Assay Office, and seized 12 items of non-hallmarked and counterfeit jewellery. A fake Cartier bracelet was found for sale, and only after this did Erbil apply to get his items hallmarked. However, by April last year, officers received a complaint that the shop was selling fake watches and sunglasses, and the Assay Office revealed no articles had been submitted to them for assessment. Erbil was fined £5,480 at Tottenham Magistrates Court on February the 18th in a prosecution brought by Enfield Council. The Council's Cabinet Member for Environment, Daniel Anderson, said, "Not only did Mr. Erbil believe that he was above the law by failing to hallmark his jewellery, but it seems he was also selling counterfeit items. The Council will not tolerate such behaviour, and any shop caught selling items such as these will be prosecuted."
A conference aimed at highlighting the dangers of bullying will take place next week. Teachers and students at Suffolk's Primary School in Brick Lane, Enfield, will take part in a series of workshops designed by Dave Brown, a consultant given the task of developing a bullying prevention strategy for schools. The strategy, which he hopes will be adopted across the borough, is a move away from current thinking around dealing with bullying in the classroom. Mr. Brown said, "I believe we need a systematic approach to tackle bullying." He said, "Effective bullying prevention starts in the staff room. Tackling bullying needs to change completely from anti-bullying, which is reactive, to prevention, which addresses the sources of bullying behaviours. As soon as we react, we're too late." Hosted by Educate, a social enterprise that links teacher and development programmes, the day will focus on the process of developing a bullying prevention strategy for schools, and will aim to bring together the borough's education chiefs. A teenage entrepreneur who considered taking his own life because of constant bullying will be a guest speaker. Ollie Forsyth, 17, who has since set up a website selling gifts, said, "I was severely bullied at school. I wanted to end my life, but I said to myself, I'm going to be a millionaire one day, and those bullies will be working for me." Ifa Orhan, Enfield Council's Cabinet Member for Education, Children's Services and Protection, will also be attending the conference on Tuesday.
Pounding a treadmill while watching food programmes seems an entirely fitting way for a bake-off star to train for the London Marathon. Urvashi Rowe, owner of the Library Cafe in Enfield Town Library in Church Street, is in the midst of training for the marathon on April 24th and swears by her regime of endurance and interval training on the gym treadmill, whiling away the hours of training by learning new cooking techniques and recipes. She is running the 26 miles and 385 yards to raise money for Action Against Hunger, a charity which supports people living in parts of the world without access to basic nutrition. She told the Advertiser, "They're an amazing charity, and I feel very confident that the money that I raise is going as directly as possible to the projects. There is so much bad press about the larger charities and about how much money actually gets through to those in need, but these guys are a really small team based in London." In a bid to raise awareness of how much a plentiful supply of food is taken for granted in the West, Urvashi organised a series of supper clubs in the Dugdale Centre in London Road, Enfield Town, to raise money for the cause. "Even simple things like bread, the people this charity helps cannot make it," she added. "They don't have access to an oven, or their community ovens are kilometres and kilometres away, so they have to walk there. So something as simple as bread is just not available to people, and I wanted to do fundraising that was linked to food. The supper club events which were a challenge in themselves, she said, as presenting consistently delicious food to 30 guests is no mean feat. She explained, I also wanted to raise awareness about traditional Gujarati cuisine, that is the region my family is originally from. In this country, there is a tendency to use curry as a synonymous word for anything that has chili and spices in it, but that is slowly changing with more people understanding about regionality of cooking. Anyone who wants to donate money to Urvashi's cause can do so by visiting www.justgiving.com/Urvashiro. But more than big sums of cash, she is hoping that people will also provide her with a song she can add to her marathon playlist, which will motivate her around the cause. She says all suggestions are welcome and will add to her already jam-packed playlist made up of Taylor Swift songs, hits of the 1960s, and even a few Bollywood anthems.
An MP wants better public health support after a poll showed a quarter of 10-year-olds in Enfield are overweight. According to children's charity 4 in 10, 25.4% of Year 6 children in the borough are obese, compared to 19.1% nationally. Joan Ryan, MP for Enfield North, says that nothing can be done until more money is available to tackle the problem. She said, obesity is absolutely a problem, and in Enfield we have a health funding is so low. You cannot do anything if you do not have the money. That is a problem I have raised in Parliament, and it is a problem I intend to raise again. Obesity harms children for the rest of their lives, and we need an effective strategy to beat it. It cannot be just left to the parents. The council has lobbied for more money. Now the government has to listen. The two leading candidates to become Mayor of London have also pledged to tackle child obesity. Labour candidate Sadiq Khan has criticised the government for having no answer to the crisis and for deciding against introducing a national sugar tax. He said, across London, almost a quarter of 10 and 11-year-olds are clinically obese, and the figure is going up every year. A national sugar tax could play a significant role in solving the obesity crisis, and it is frustrating that the government is ruling it out. The government needs to think again. Zach Goldsmith, the Conservative candidate for mayor, pledged to fight child obesity by helping schools set up pocket farms, enabling children to learn about where their food comes from. Mr. Goldsmith said, obesity and poor air quality are two of the biggest threats that our young people face. We have shown in Richmond that children benefit from more outdoor learning and that we can raise the quality of school food.
Right, I'll have to précis this item because we haven't got much time, but it's a rather lovely story. The mother of a teenager who took his own life after battling depression has praised his teachers for keeping the memory of my beautiful, fantastic boy alive by trying to raise thousands of pounds for a children's charity. Basically, the 14 teachers, which includes Bruce Goddard, the head of Highland School, are going to run in the London Marathon, and they hope to raise rather a lot of money. They've already raised a third of the £32,000 that they want to, and there's going to be a cake sale later on, and there's going to be a collection at Spurs match on Sunday, and they sincerely hope they're going to get about £1,000 from that. So out of a tragedy, some good work is going to be done because the money's being raised for Childline. We've reached the end of our programme. So thank you for listening. Hope you had a good spread of news there. And it's goodbye from all of us here. Goodbye. Bye.